Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Office Lovers on Ryo Kaido's route. We are on Chapter 7, Wine for Two, and I'm a little bit nervous because in the last episode, apparently Mr. Otori warned Kaido about our relationship here that he sees budding. But I think basically, as long as he just controls himself, everything should be okay. But I'm afraid that it's gonna make him pull back more than we really want him to. But let's see. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Good morning, Dirili. On the way to the office, I heard Ken calling me. Oh, good morning, Ken. It's rare to see you work like this. What the? Ken suddenly pushed his face close and began to examine me. What? Your eyes are awfully red. Have you not been getting enough sleep? Well, yeah, I couldn't really sleep much yesterday. After Mr. Otori's car dropped me off, it was nearly 5. I had to rush to shower, slept a couple of hours, and then got ready for work. Were you working late? Well, yes. I scratched my cheek and gave a meek smile. He grabbed my hand. That's not good for you. Haven't you heard anything about beauty sleep? And plus, if you aren't in good spirits, the whole team is going to be worried. Oh, I just didn't get a full night's rest, that's all. You're overreacting. No, I'm not. He shook his head violently. Calm down, dude. Everyone worries about you. But I worry the most. And we can't even date you, dear. Rather overwhelmed by his zeal, I only nodded silently. He grinned. Good. Well, I'm sorry to have worried you like that. His smile was so calming, just like how it had been back when we were in college together. Don't be sorry, just sleep properly tonight. And wait, what's that? Uh-oh. He suddenly grew very concerned and stared at my face. Did he see the hickey on my neck? What? Are there bags under my eyes? No, it's not that. Stalling for words, he dug something out of his bag and put it in my hands. What's this? Concealer? Totally confused, I looked at the concealer. Put it on, before you walk through those doors if you can. On your neck, you have a hickey. He did see it! Ah! Well, I guess it doesn't bother him. What? A hickey on my neck? I frantically covered my neck with my hands. My face flushed red. A hickey? How? When? Guess? And then I remembered yesterday. He must have done it then. Is it really obvious? Well, considering the circumstances. It might be fine any other day, but we have that staff meeting today. And aren't you supposed to have a big presentation for Mr. Otori? That's right. I went pale. Mr. Otori saw me yesterday, but it was dark. Maybe he didn't see the hickey. Nope, fat chance of that. Do you want me to help you hide that? It's fine, don't worry. I got this. Okay, well, if you need any more makeup, let me know, okay? I will, thanks. Thank goodness for the makeup artist. My hand still pressed on my neck. I noticed he smiled weakly at me. To tell you the truth, I didn't really want to help. Oh, what? Why not? I just can't believe you're with a man who would do something like that to you. Like you wouldn't if you could. And in such an obvious place. I love you, so I'm just shocked. He just confessed to me on the street. You love me? I knew what he meant, but hearing him say so clearly was a shock for me too. Well, thank you for that. I love you too, Ken. Right. Unfortunately, it looks like we're after two very different things when it comes to love. He raised his eyebrows and sighed. 2 different things? What do you mean? It's nothing. Besides, are you prepped for the meeting? Of course. If I can't get through this day, then all that work will have been for nothing. Good luck today. Thanks, I'll do my best. We smiled at each other, and he patted me on the hand. And now about the polish we're going to be including in the set. The color is a reddish pink with white glitter mixed in. The name is Love's Beginning. The slogan we're thinking of using is a love that wants to be held. I finished my explanation and breathed a sigh. Ever since I started my presentation, Mr. Otori had been watching wordlessly. It's rare to see him so serious about something. My body had been tense the whole meeting. These are the samples. I placed the products down in front of him. In the heart-shaped container, the polish glittered sweetly in the light. He took the set in his hands and examined it closely. He fell silent again and looked it over. He placed it on the table before him. He gave a slow look at everyone around the table and smiled.
Well, I've now officially seen the fruit of your labors. My decision to include all of you in this team was the right decision, the way I see it. Thank you for this very early Christmas gift.
Thank you. Thank you very much. After praying for the project's success, the meeting wrapped up. After the meeting, I was told to come to the president's office.
Dirili, good work today.
I'm worried.
You've been working night and day ever since this project got off the ground. This project would have never been the success it is without your hard work.
I can't possibly take that much credit. Everyone works so hard. Especially my partner, Mr. Kaido. He helped me so much. He cut me off.
Well, it doesn't feel like there's a woman in love here.
I'm sorry? What?
Oh, am I wrong? Because I think... if you weren't in love, I don't think that slogan would have ever come to you.
He gave me a meaningful look and smiled.
Dirili, you and Kaido are just work partners, aren't you? I think you are, because I remember laying very specific ground rules before this project. Are you sure everything's all right, Dirili?
He's asking me if Mr. Kaido and I are dating. What should I say? I shall gloss it over. We're not going to give a solid... we're just going to be political about this. No real answer. We'll just skirt around it. Oops. Darn it. I skipped. What? How could you ever think that? We would never. My attempts at throwing him off were met with his cold stare. Is he looking at my neck? I should have had Ken put on that concealer for me. No, it was already way too late by then, girl. He must have seen it. The jig's up. Just as I was thinking that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, actually.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. I hope I'm wrong, anyway. Sorry for doubting you. But just looking at you, I could have sworn you had a boyfriend. Too bad.
Why am I just lying and say I'm dating somebody outside the company?
Congratulations, I guess.
Thank you. I bowed my head when I heard a knock at the door.
Excuse me, there's a matter I'd like to discuss with you.
Mr. Kaido, with some papers in hand, entered the room.
Another plan? Can't it wait? Sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
He bowed his head to Mr. Otori and swept his gaze over to me.
Dirili, you can go back to your desk now.
Was Mr. Otori about to make a move on me? Oh, okay then. Saved by the bell. As I was leaving the room, Mr. Kaido leaned in and whispered.
Oh, keep yourself free tonight.
Ha!
Let's celebrate. Just the two of us.
You said that in front of Mr. Otori? Right. I raced out of the room in an effort to hide my reddening face. That night, he took me to a hotel nearby. We had a quick dinner at the hotel restaurant, and in our room I turned to him.
That food was good. And this wine, it smells amazing.
Being alone with him, it's making me so nervous. As if he read my mind, he smiled gently at me.
We're finally alone.
The sound of his silky soft voice caused me to hit my wine glass. Sorry. I caught it. Thank God. That could have been bad. I sighed in relief and he laughed.
What's wrong with you? Are you nervous?
Well, we're alone like this.
True, we are alone.
I know, but when you said it earlier, it just got me so nervous for some reason.
You're weird. We've been alone together before. Don't tell me you forgot already.
Well, of course, we've been alone together at work. I tried remembering some of the times before, and when I did... now that I think of it, every time we've been alone, something weird happens. Especially last night, I moved my hand to my neck, still covered in concealer, and I blushed.
You're bright red.
You're so mean. You were teasing me, weren't you?
Obviously. It never gets old watching you freak out like this. It's so adorable.
What? Did he just call me cute?
What's with that dumbfounded face you're pulling?
It's just that what you said about me. Is this a dream? Mr. Kaido, could you please just insult me like you always do? The fallback. Let's see if this is really reality or not. I'm not comfortable with you being so nice. Be mean to me, please.
What?
Because this all feels like a dream. His face relaxed, enjoying the spectacle.
Well then, how about I make you believe it?
He moved towards me. We kissed. How many times has it been now? He had forced me before, and it had been under weird circumstances, though. We were alone together outside of the office. We didn't have to worry about being seen. As if begging for more, I tilted my chin up and pouted my lips. He grabbed my chin and deepened our connection. And for that moment, I allowed myself to be totally lost in his kiss. He slowly pulled away from me, but I wanted more. I opened my eyes. His figure seemed blurry from my misty eyes. Mr. Kaido? When we had kissed before, I was always so scared someone would see us. But I never realized how fulfilled I could feel from his kiss.
Look at that face. You're so greedy. You want more, don't you?
No, I don't. I want it. I want it so bad, but I could never admit that to him.
Good.
He looked at me teasingly and picked up his wine glass.
I bought this wine for us. We should enjoy it a bit more. Cheers.
Cheers. I picked up the glass and pushed it to my lips. This wine is so good, sure, but that kiss was so much sweeter. I'm actually surprised you were able to get a reservation at this hotel. The girls in the office love coming here, even if it's just for lunch. This place is so popular, it must be so hard to get a reservation.
I know the manager. Besides, I reserved it back when you first came up with that slogan.
Wow, he decided right then he was going to take me. You made the reservation that long ago?
Yeah.
It was ages ago when we thought of that slogan.
When we decided on that slogan, I knew that this proposal would be a success. I reserved this room so I could celebrate with you.
You did this for me?
You're making a stupid face again.
Well, it's just that... I'm happy, of course. I'm just so happy you thought of me. Thank you, Mr. Kaido. After thanking him, he looked at me shocked.
Didn't expect that.
He smiled faintly. You just keep surprising me. You're always so mean to me, Mr. Kaido.
What? Can't I congratulate my partner who worked her butt off? I thought this project would fall apart without me around, but... a love that wants to be held. The reason you were put on this project was because you're good at what you do.
No, you always got me mad at first if you weren't there to guide me. I would have never made it. Thank you, Mr. Kaido. I thought you were so awful that first time we talked after the project started. But now I'm happy we got to do this together.
Oh, so I said something that upset you.
What? You forgot?
I don't remember unimportant crap.
I had never been asked that before, so I got so really upset.
What did I say? Dirili.
You said you haven't had sex before, have you? You said that! As I answered him, I blushed. The corner of his mouth turned up.
Now that I think of it, you never answered me.
Shouldn't you have been able to tell after tonight? Huh? My eyes went wide at his words.
You haven't answered the question yet.
Or have we not done it yet? We only kissed?
Well, Dirili, have you?
He put his chin in his hand and looked at me with a nasty smirk. He's just teasing me again. I love it. I don't need to answer that. I looked away, irritated, but he only laughed.
Overreacting as usual.
This is how normal people react. I should report you for harassment.
Please, it's obviously a joke. Women who can't take a joke are still just little brats in bigger bras. Well, whatever. If you could take a joke, it'd be sort of.
He stood up and rounded the table toward me. What's up with him? Did I mouth off to him too much?
Get over here.
He yanked on my arm and made me stand. What is it? I haven't finished my...
Shut up.
His cold and feeling voice caused my shoulders to tense up. He's mad. He's really mad, isn't he? His eyes... I was just joking about the harassment thing. It was a joke. If I really didn't want to come here, I never would have come. Despite my efforts to talk with him, he continued his silence. He silently stomped through the room and opened the door. He suddenly tossed me onto the bed. What are you? I stopped my complaining immediately. He slipped off his tie with a quick motion. Mr. Kaido? I continued to watch Mr. Kaido, and my eyes went wide. Mr. Kaido? Mr. Kaido silently undid his tie and slipped it from his neck. He undid the buttons of his shirt, and my heart skipped a beat. What are you doing? Are you just teasing me still? Saying that, I tried to stand up from the bed, but I was brought down again. Oh, I want to see more of this picture. Well, we can check the gallery at the end, but we don't get to see much more of this. I want to see more of his face. They do such good pictures in his route. He straddled my body.
You covered that well.
He traced the hickey I had covered with concealer earlier.
I meant for that to be a diversion in the meeting, but you covered it up. Well, someone noticed, I guess.
As he whispered this, he began to undo his buttons. Why?
Why? Why what? The hickey, you mean? Only one reason, really. I wanted all of them in the room to know that you were mine. And judging from the circumstances, I'd say this would be the obvious next step. Just you and me, boyfriend and girlfriend alone, behind closed doors.
But you said that we weren't dating. Didn't you say I was just an option?
I did say that.
So then, why? He looked at me strangely, and as I looked up at him, I felt my heart beat faster. Tell me. You love me. Tell me you love me. Tell me right now. My voice was shaky. Hearing my words, his serious expression softened.
Fine.
He leaned in, and his lips touched my ears. He whispered,
I love you.
He delicately cupped my cheek. I'm surprised he gave in that easily. I'm so happy. I pressed my cheek further into his hand. I never thought that Mr. Kaido and I would ever fall in love like this. His touch was unusually gentle. I felt like my heart would burst.
Dirili.
Hearing his sweet voice and feeling the thumping in my chest, I closed my eyes. Oh, I suddenly remembered. But what should we do about that no dating rule? After this project, it should be fine, but still.
You're still going on about that. I told you not to worry about that crap.
It isn't crap. Just today, Mr. Otori called me in to warn me.
So are you just going to do what he says and stay away from me until it's over? You finally found a job that you enjoy, and you're going to quit? You plan on going back to being a pathetic little Miss Amateur? Well, what is it, Dirili? What do you want to make a priority? Your job or your love life?
I can't decide. I want to work, but I also want him. I've always put my job first. Was I even designed to love someone? But when you love someone, no matter how hard you try, you can't quiet your heart. I love him. I love Mr. Kaido.
You're so selfish. Whatever. I thought I'd wait until you knew what you wanted. But I couldn't wait any longer.
Huh? Why?
But there were a ton of men who were after you, and after yesterday I couldn't wait anymore. I reached my limit. Dirili.
He called my name, and my body stiffened.
I'm tired of doing this. You're mine.
What? In the dim ambient light, his eyes sparkled. I closed my eyelids, and I prepared myself to be taken by him. I could have used just a teensy tiny little bit more detail, but that was still good. That was excellent. I'm so glad he didn't back off. Oh, that was so awesome. I just prepared myself to be taken. Oh, Kaido, you are my man in this game, all right. I love you so much. It's going to be pretty tough for Hyoga to top him. No, he's not going to. I'm going to like Hyoga, but not as much as Kaido. It's not going to happen. I can tell you that now. Alright, well anyway, I hope to see you in the next video or in some of my others, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.